Pre-Intermediate Market Leader Coursebook, 3rd edition, by David Cotton, David Falvey and Simon Kent. Published by Pearson Longman. Unit 1. Careers. Track 1. Person 1.
Well, for a long time I think I was very ambitious, wanting to get to the top and to earn as much money as possible. But then I decided that other things are more important. I recently decided to take a career break, so I'm travelling for a year and doing some unpaid work. I want to see something of the world and look at my options. Everyone at work says it's not a very good career move, but it's what I want to do. All my friends think I'm mad, but I think I have time. I'm only in my 30s after all.
Unit 1. Careers. Track 2. Person 2.
It's been very difficult, I think, to get a start without much experience, It's the chicken and egg situation. You can't get a job without experience, and you can't get experience without a job. The career opportunities everybody talks about are not really happening for me. Maybe the problem is that I don't really have a career path in mind. I'm still not really sure what I want to do in the long term. I've done different things, but they don't seem to lead anywhere. I don't really know where I'm going. Studying at university made a lot of sense at the time, but now I'm not so sure. I don't feel very prepared for my working life.
Unit 1. Careers. Track 3. Person 3.
Well, I suppose I always had a career plan, and for me it seems to have been successful. I first worked for the company part-time when I was a student, part of a work placement, which I organised myself. I always wanted to work in this area, and only really for one company. They offered me a full-time job, and then I worked my way up the career ladder, from trader to associate to manager to director. I'm now a partner. Maybe it's a bit unusual these days to only work for one company, but for me it's all I wanted. It's only been 17 years, but I'm going to take early retirement next year and buy a boat.
Unit 1. Careers. Track 4.
Can you tell us about your job?
I'm currently the Finance Director of CSE Media Limited, Chart Show Channels Group, which is the largest independent television business in the UK. We have a mixture of 16 channels, some are music, some are children's, and some are movie channels.
What was your previous job?
I was previously the Finance Director of a chocolate pudding business, so very different from television. But the good thing about being in the finance world is that it's relatively easy to move from sector to sector. The basic skills that you need are similar in each case.
Unit 1. Careers. Track 5.
How did you get into finance as a career?
When I was a student, although I was studying chemistry, I thought I would like to do something different afterwards. And I actually did a summer internship with one of the big accountancy firms, which was an excellent way to get an understanding of what the job would be like. I started off as an auditor, and it was through that experience that I got my first job.
Unit 1. Careers. Track 6.
Have you had any good advice during your career?
Yes, I've had lots of advice during my working career. I think the thing that stands out is really not to overcomplicate things. Especially in the finance world, people can get bogged down in a lot of detail, and it's important to try and maintain clarity and always be able to see above all the numbers that you're given and all the data, and what is really the key point and the key decision you have to make.
Unit 1. Careers. Track 7.
What I've found in coming across people who've applied for positions in the companies I've worked in is the key difference is people who've done a lot of research on the companies that they've applied to. People have taken the time to not just read company accounts, but research on what the company is moving into, and are able to really ask those interesting questions at interview, and makes all the difference. So I say research is the key.
Unit 1. Careers. Track 8.
Good morning, VTS. Which department, please?
I'd like to speak to Karina Molinar in Human Resources, please.
Thank you. Hold on. I'll put you through.
Hello, Human Resources.
Hello, is that Karina Molinar?
Speaking.
Yes, I'm phoning about your advert in Careers Now. Could you send me an application form, please?
Certainly. Can I take some details? Could you give me your name and address, please?
Yes, sure. It's Sophie Boiteau, which is B-O-I-T-E-A-U-D. And my address is...
Unit 1. Careers. Track 9.
Hello. Could I speak to Giovanna, please?
I'm afraid she's not here at the moment. Can I take a message?
Yes, please. This is Johan from Intec. Could you tell her I won't be able to make the training course on Saturday? She can call me back if there's a problem. I'm on 0191 498 0051.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Unit 1. Careers. Track 10.
Hello, Matt speaking.
Hi, Matt. Carl here.
Oh, hello, Carl. How are you?
Fine, thanks. Listen, just a quick word.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you think you could let me have the other number for Workplace Solutions? I can't get through to them. Their phone's always engaged.
I've got it here. It's 020-9756 4237.
Sorry, I didn't catch the last part. Did you say 4227?
No, it's 4237.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
No problem. Bye.
Unit 1. Careers. Track 11. Extract 1.
The children will be no problem. I'll probably send them to an international school in Sao Paulo. My husband's a writer, so he can work anywhere. I've got a career plan. I want to get to the top. I think I can do that and be a good mother as well. You have to be well organized, of course, and be a bit selfish at times.
Unit 1. Careers. Track 12. Extract 2.
How can we increase sales in the 3 markets? Well, I'll be checking the performance of the managers and sales reps carefully. I'll set the reps' targets, and if they meet them, they'll get good bonuses. The managers will also have to meet their targets. If they don't, they should start looking for a new job. The main aim of a sales manager is to make money for the company, isn't it?
Unit 1. Careers. Track 13. Extract 1.
My son is only 5, but he'll come with me if I get the job. His father won't be at all pleased, but he can't do anything about it. I could leave my son with his grandparents, but I don't want to do that. I'm sure he'll be all right in a Brazilian school. Children adapt very quickly to new places. It won't be a problem for me or him.
Unit 1. Careers. Track 14. Extract 2.
What's the best way to improve the performance of the sales teams? Well, I'll work closely with the sales managers, try to get a good relationship with them, and I'll look at the commissions we give the sales reps. Are they high enough to motivate them? I'll check the reps' progress regularly. Also, I'll make suggestions about improving the customer database. That's very important.
Unit 1. Careers. Track 15. Extract 1.
What kind of person am I? Well, people often say I'm a loner because I've never married, but I think I'm fairly sociable. I'm definitely a bit of an intellectual. I have many interests: literature, music, world cinema, traveling abroad, and getting to know other cultures. Perhaps that's why I've never married or had children.
Unit 1. Careers. Track 16. Extract 2.
I have the experience and skills to improve our performance in these markets. I'd send the sales teams on team-building courses and have regular meetings with the 3 sales managers. The job would be a big challenge for me at the end of my career with our company. Of course, I've studied the cultures of the 3 countries, so I should have no problems working with the sales teams.
Unit 2. Companies. Track 17.
I'm pleased to say the parent company has continued its excellent performance. We are changing, growing, and doing well at a difficult time for the industry. Turnover was €57.2 million, an increase of 15% on last year, and net profit rose by 5% to €6.4 million. We are a highly competitive business. We have increased our market share to 20%. Consequently, our share price has risen and is now at an all-time high of €9.6. Increased production and strong demand have had a positive effect on our cash flow, so we are able to finance a number of new projects. We have successfully moved to our new head office in central London. We are now planning to start full production at the recently opened Spanish subsidiary in October. Finally, thanks once again to our loyal and dedicated workforce. Our employees will always be our most valuable asset.
Unit 2. Companies. Track 18.
Can you tell us about your company?
Nature's Way Foods is a food manufacturing company based on the south coast of England, and we put chilled product, majority of which is lettuce and fruit, into various types of packaging for the major retailers and various food service companies in the UK. Examples of retailers would be Tesco's, Morrison's and Waitrose. And in terms of food service companies, our biggest customer is McDonald's, which I'm sure most of you will be familiar with.
Unit 2. Companies. Track 19.
What are the reasons for the company's success?
There are various reasons for the company's success. I think one of the major ones is the markets in which we operate. There are some what we call big marketing themes, which are health, convenience, sustainability and indulgence. We think the products we produce in both leaf and fruit fit a lot of those themes. So a majority of the UK population have a desire to eat healthy products. They tend to be what we call time poor, i.e. they haven't got much time in their lives for creating great food. So they want to be able to buy a convenient product of good, healthy food. There is also a theme for sustainability. So people want to feel like they are contributing towards a sustainable world. And a lot of our product has a fairly low level of what we call food miles, and therefore is fairly sustainable. Some of our products also have a fairly indulgent feel. So the UK population has a habit of wanting to be indulgent at certain times. So they might diet on a Monday to Friday, but when it gets to Friday night, they will have several pieces of cake and maybe a few drinks. I think the other reason for our success is the way we run our business. We are a high volume business, so we're producing hundreds of millions of units. So we need to be very efficient in the way we produce them. So we've invested heavily as a business in systems and process to make sure we are very efficient in the manner in which we produce the products for our customers.
Unit 2. Companies. Track 20.
When running a company, what have you enjoyed most and least?
I think most is achieving what you set out to achieve. So when you're running a company, one of your key objectives or key roles is to set the strategy for the company and then make sure the building blocks are in place to achieve that strategy. And that I find very satisfying, to set a clear goal for the business and then watch the business and help the business go and achieve that goal. I think the other thing which I find very satisfying is creating a team ethic and watching the people grow and watching people develop and work towards the goals that you set as a business and work as a team and get enjoyment out of that and develop as people and as business people within the organisation.
And least?
I think least is probably the relentlessness of the role as a chief executive. You're never actually off duty. And a business like ours, which is a food manufacturing company, it's running 364 days a year. So there's always something to be responsible for and something that's happening within your organisation. So I think that can be quite tiring. And also the other thing that sometimes can be wearing is it is quite a lonely life. You know, you have to make decisions. Sometimes you can't talk to other people about them and they have to be your decision.
Unit 2. Companies. Track 21.
What lessons have you learned from the companies you've worked for?
I've learned a lot of lessons from the companies I've worked for. I think the key thing is that you have to make sure your people in the organisation are engaged with the organisation and have a clear understanding of what that organisation is trying to achieve. If you can get that clarity of direction and enthusiasm from the people within the organisation, then that will help move the business forward in itself.
Unit 2. Companies. Track 22.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for coming to my presentation. My name's Robert Pullin. I'm the Director of Human Resources at DCV Fashions. My purpose today is to talk to you about our company. You can then decide if you'd like to work for us in the future. First, I'll give you some basic information about DCV Fashions. After that, I'll explain why we've been so successful in the fashion industry. Next, I'll tell you about our mission statement. This describes what we're all about, why we're in business. And finally, I'll explain how we communicate with people through our advertising and promotion.
Unit 2. Companies. Track 23.
Okay, some basic facts. We were founded in Florence in 1990. That's where we're currently based. Since then, we've expanded at a very fast rate and established our brand worldwide. We make and sell clothing and fashion accessories for the 18 to 30 age group. Please take a look at the chart. It shows our financial performance over a 5-year period. As you can see, last year our turnover was over 300 million euros and our net profit approximately 28 million. What's the key to our success? Well, I'd say there are 3 reasons we've grown so rapidly. We have a very talented team of young designers. Our distribution system is first class, and we're very creative when advertising and promoting our products. Moving on now to our mission. It's to be a dynamic company, constantly changing, but always leading fashion. Fun, youth, action, energy. This is what our brand is all about. Finally, a word about our advertising and promotion. DCV advertises on all the Italian TV networks, as well as those in other major European markets. It sponsors fashion shows, and its products are endorsed by many celebrities in the world of music and sport. Well, I hope you'll be interested to learn more about our company. Thanks very much for listening to my presentation. Are there any questions?
Unit 2. Companies. Track 24.
It's true our results haven't been good. Our pre-tax profits have fallen once again. It's all very worrying. Well, we know one of the reasons. Our 2 main competitors have been cutting their prices, so our prices are beginning to look rather high. They've also been increasing their advertising spend to get a bigger market share. But it doesn't explain everything, does it? How do you see things, Donna?
It's not a crisis, Paolo, but we do need to make changes as fast as possible. The way I see it, we don't offer a very wide range of flavors. That's not helping us. And our packaging isn't very exciting. It gives the wrong impression. It could be the reason why our classic product isn't selling as well as it used to. Okay, so what do we need? More products and more outlets. We must reach more than the big supermarkets and our own ice cream stores. Also, it'd be a good idea to upgrade our equipment and storage facilities. Maybe our fleet of trucks as well. They're terribly out of date.
Plenty to think about there, Donna. How about you, Bill?
Well, I'd say innovation is the key. We need more new products, exciting new products people will want to buy. Don't forget, people are health conscious these days. So how about bringing out some fat-free flavors? 100% fat-free, made from natural ingredients, no additives? Another thing, Paolo, we need to be more green, to do more for the environment. You know, recycle our containers, take the fat out of our waste products, then give the pure water to local communities. That sort of thing. Maybe donate money to charities like a heart or cancer foundation. That'd improve our image for sure.
Unit 3. Selling. Track 25. Extract 1.
I like shopping for things I'm interested in buying, like clothes, but I really hate going to the supermarket. I just find it really boring, walking round and round looking for things. Supermarkets don't seem very well organised for customers. They have fruit and vegetables near the entrance, but then heavy things are further away, and they move things around, which makes it difficult. Often the staff don't know where things are and can't help you.
Unit 3. Selling. Track 26. Extract 2.
I love the internet for shopping. I buy lots of things on it. It's just so easy and convenient. Most retailers now work online. You can compare prices and products so easily. I also like the auction sites like eBay. You can get some real bargains. Some people say it's risky to shop this way. Things can go wrong, but I've never had a problem. A lot of my friends like shopping malls, but I really hate them. They're always so crowded, and they make me feel tired.
Unit 3. Selling. Track 27. Extract 3.
I enjoy the experience of shopping. You know, being a customer, being made to feel special. I prefer specialist shops where service is more personal, where people remember you, know your name and can help you. I also like trying to get discounts when I'm shopping, actually doing a deal with the assistants. I really enjoy shopping for shoes. I don't think it's something you can do on the internet, although I know people do.
Unit 3. Selling. Track 28.
What does QVC do?
QVC is a global multi-channel retailer. We sell product across a wide variety of categories, from food through to fashion, through to accessories, through to beauty, to gardening and DIY. And we sell to consumers in Germany, Japan, USA, UK and Italy. And we sell both through the television and online.
Unit 3. Selling. Track 29.
What's the secret of a really good sales presentation?
Firstly, having a product that you can easily demonstrate and a product that has a good story behind it. Secondly, that the person who's actually giving the sales presentation can engage with their audience in a credible fashion, can tell the story very clearly and can demonstrate the features and benefits of each product in a very clear and easy to understand way.
Can you give us an example of how you develop a sales pitch?
First of all, it's all in the preparation. So it's all about knowing the product inside and out, what the product can do, what it can't do, when it is suitable, when the product isn't suitable, and then be able to demonstrate the product to its best advantage in a very clear and precise fashion, but also in an engaging way.
Unit 3. Selling. Track 30.
What was QVC's most successful product sale and why?
We have many successful product areas. One of our strongest is beauty. Beauty works so well on TV for two reasons. First of all, each beauty brand has a fantastic story behind it, and we can really bring life to the brand and to the product presentation through telling that story in a very engaging way. And secondly, each product is very easy to demonstrate. So if it's a skincare product like a moisturiser, we can show how to apply it, how much to apply in order to give the best effects. Finally, we add another layer to our sales presentation in that we may invite the expert behind that product to tell the story.
Are some types of product easier to sell than others?
Yes, and in fact some products are very difficult to sell on our business model. So take fragrance for example. Clearly the main piece you want to communicate with a fragrance is how it smells, and that can be very challenging to do through a television environment.
Unit 3. Selling. Track 31.
How has online shopping altered the way you sell?
It's given us a fantastic opportunity to sell in a different way to our consumers. So if a customer wants to buy a skincare product at 10 o'clock at night, and perhaps on air we're showing a gardening item, she can now go down to our website, she can browse through the range of product online that suit her at that moment in time. She can see an image of the product, she can see the product description, she can see what other customers think about the product through our ratings and reviews service, and as well she can see the video demonstration. So it opens up our range of 15,000 products to the customer at any time, day or night.
Unit 3. Selling. Track 32.
So, your plan is to provide electric cars in your town centre. People will rent them to do their shopping, go about their business and so on, right?
Yes. Pollution is a big problem here. We're trying all sorts of ideas to reduce it. We're interested in starting with 10 electric cars. If it works, we'll increase the number later on. I see from your price list that a standard two-seater car will cost about 12,000 euros. Is that correct?
Yes. The price includes transport and insurance costs. If you order 10 vehicles, you'll be paying us about 100,000 euros, minus the 2% discount we offer a new customer. But if you increased your order, we could offer a much higher discount.
Okay. How much would that be?
Well, for an order of 20 or more vehicles, the discount would be 5%.
I see. Let me think about it. What about delivery? We'd like to start the program in June, if possible.
To be honest, that's a bit early for us. We've got a lot of customers waiting for delivery. We could possibly deliver by late August, all being well.
That might be okay, if you can guarantee delivery by then.
I'd have to discuss it with our production department. I'll get back to you on that.
Good. How about the warranty? We'd like a long period.
It's for 2 years. That's what we normally offer.
Only 2 years? You know, if you could offer us a longer warranty, we'd be delighted. How about 5 years?
That's much longer than normal. It could be all right, as long as you pay more for the longer period. I don't know. I'll check with my colleagues. I can't give you a decision right away.
Okay. What about payment? Do you offer credit terms?
I'm afraid not. It's company policy for a new customer. We need payment by bank transfer on receipt of the goods. Oh, and we ask for a down payment of 20% of the value of the order.
A down payment as well? I see. Right. Well, I think we've covered some of the main points. How about some lunch now? After lunch, I'd like to discuss after-sales service. It's important for us that you give reliable sales support.
Unit 3. Selling. Track 33.
I suggest the first item should be the length of the agreement. We need to agree how many years we want it to be for. And after that, let's talk about the number of rooms you want and what types of rooms you'd like to reserve for your customers, okay?
Yes, that makes sense to me. First the length of the contract and then the number and type of rooms. After that, I suppose services come next. That item could take some time to discuss.
Yes, I think it'll take the most time. So services will be the third item on the agenda, and I'll allow quite a bit of time for that. Next, how about advertising?
No, I think that should come later. We need to talk about the rates next, and especially any discounts you can offer on your listed prices.
Okay, rates can come before advertising. We'll probably have quite a long discussion about discounts, so I'll make time for that. And then, finally, we can talk about advertising costs. I hope that won't take too long. How's that?
That's fine. I'm happy with the agenda. I think it covers all the main points we need to talk about.
Good. See you next week then. Goodbye.
Bye.
Working Across Cultures 1. Track 34.
Many of you will travel to foreign countries on business or go to international conferences and sales fairs. Some of you may end up living and working in a foreign country. For all of you, cultural and social awareness will be important if you want to become effective communicators when you're abroad. Today, I'm going to look at saying no politely. Whenever you say yes to a request, you are doing so at a cost. That cost is usually your time. Sometimes you just have to say no. I remember 2 embarrassing occasions when I had to say no. One was in Finland, when a business friend invited me to a sauna. I just felt uncomfortable. The other was in Hungary, a country where it's sometimes okay to share private details. Someone asked me something rather personal. Again, I felt a bit uncomfortable. In the first part of my talk, I'm going to look at 5 tips for saying no politely. Firstly, pay attention. Listen carefully and make sure you don't say no before the other person has even finished making their request. Listen to the request with an open mind. Secondly, offer alternatives. You may even be able to recommend someone else who is more suitable. Thirdly, show sympathy if someone asks you to do something that you can't do. Show that you genuinely wanted to help. Next, be as clear as possible to avoid misunderstandings. Don't say maybe when you really mean no. And finally, avoid long reasons and excuses. Sometimes the less you say, the better. The times I've had to say no the most is when customers have wanted huge discounts. As long as you can say no politely with a smile, followed by a genuine "I'm sorry," then you should be fine.
Working Across Cultures 1, Track 35.
In the second part of my talk, I'll look at saying no in different countries. Japanese people hate saying no. They don't even like using negative endings to verbs, and they don't like any confrontation. So it's important to look at their non-verbal communication. They believe in harmony. They think that turning down someone's request causes embarrassment and loss of face to the other person. Many negotiators have come away from meetings in Japan thinking they have got agreement when in fact they haven't. Indonesians can also communicate indirectly. They don't like to cause anyone embarrassment by giving a negative answer. So the listener has to work out what they really mean. In fact, Bahasa Indonesian has 12 ways of saying no, and also other ways of saying yes, when the real meaning is no. The Chinese will often avoid saying no. They have an expression which means we'll do some research and discuss it later, which is a polite way of saying no. Silence in China can also imply that there are problems. Silence in the Arab world is quite common, however, and does not necessarily mean no. The Arab world does not find silence difficult. However, saying no in the wrong situations can have bad consequences. An American business friend of mine once refused a cup of coffee from a Saudi businessman at the start of a meeting. In America, that wouldn't have been a problem, but this was seen as rather rude by the Saudi host, and the meeting was unsuccessful. My friend should have accepted the coffee and just had a small cup. I'll now move on to
Working Across Cultures 1, Track 36. 1.
Would you like to go out for a meal later?
Thanks for the invitation, but I'm not feeling so well. Maybe some other time.
2.
Would you like some more food?
Nothing more for me, thanks. It was delicious.
3.
Shall we meet up next Tuesday?
I'm sorry. I'd love to, but I have other plans that evening.
4.
Please stay a little bit longer.
I've had a wonderful time, and I wish I could, but I really have to go.
5.
Can you check that the fire exit notices are all in the right place, please?
I'm afraid you've come to the wrong person. You'll have to ask Ingrid in Health and Safety.